Hi, my name's Tim Shevlin, owner of the Matt Lachey Wellness Center, and today I'm going to talk to you about going out to eat at a restaurant. What are some of your best options when you go out? What kind of place should you choose? Should you go out to eat at all? So, one of the biggest things that I'm an advocate of is not ruining your quality of life. A lot of my clients are used to a certain lifestyle. They go out to eat. A lot of them go out to eat a little too often. And that's where we make some modifications. But I don't think you should cut out going out to eat, regardless of your situation. Your whole plan when you're trying to get in better shape is to improve your quality of life. It's not to take everything that you enjoy out of your lifestyle. So we just want to make a little better decisions when we go out to eat. Now, especially if you're going out to eat on a regular basis, which I know a lot of people do, you want to make good choices most of the time. And then again, every once in a while, splurging, there's no problem with that, so long as it's the occasional thing. So, when you go out to eat, you want to try to choose a restaurant that uses fresher ingredients, uses better food choices. In Naples, we have something called True Food Kitchen, and that's one of Dr. Weil's places. And he has grass-fed beef, and he has organic produce and things like that. Now that's going to be the very best option you can do. So moving down from that, you're going to try to find a restaurant that sources things locally, uses fresh ingredients. Basically any restaurant that doesn't have the Cisco truck pull up next to it every single day. So you want to try to find a restaurant that sources local food, uses fresh ingredients. That's key, because if you have that, doesn't matter what else they're doing to it, how they're preparing it, you're going to have a better product. You're going to have a more healthful option, even if it does have a lot of fat in it, extra carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates. If they start with better ingredients, you're going to have a better product. So, after you've found a restaurant that kind of suits those kind of requirements, then you open the menu. So we'll start with salads. With a salad, a lot of times people think they're eating really healthy option because it's leafy greens. Well, yes, leafy greens are very healthy. It's what you put on it that might be the problem. Now, most salad dressings that you buy in the store or that you get in a restaurant, the main ingredient is soybean oil. I don't advocate soybeans to anyone. For the most part, soybean oil and soybeans are really not beneficial. They're inflammatory. Most of them are GMO, and in this case, the GMO means Roundup Ready, so you're getting Roundup with every bite. So you want to try to avoid any kind of soybean oil. Well, a lot of times that's not an option. So if you get a salad dressing, a prepared salad dressing at the restaurant, try to get something that's a light option. And the reason I say a light option is because, yes, you're going to get a little bit more sugar typically with the light options, but you're going to get less of the oil. And right now in this specific instance, getting less of the soybean oil, in my opinion, is the most important thing. So you want to ask for the salad, lightly dressed with a light salad dressing. Now you don't want to get the dressing yourself on the side and put that on. A lot of times people will actually use more salad dressing when they're doing it that way. You want to ask for the restaurant to lightly dress it. Croutons, you really don't need them, so why not ask no croutons? If you like a little cheese, that's fine. If you want some kind of crunch, maybe ask for extra celery, extra carrot, something like that to take the place of the croutons. So that's kind of the salad portion of it. Bread, they're always putting bread on the table. So best case, no thank you. We really don't need any bread today. That's the best case. Now, if you have to have bread with dinner, and that's understandable, after all, you are going out to eat, you're hopefully having an enjoyable evening. But if it's something you do often, definitely try to avoid the bread. If it's an occasional thing, limit your bread. 1 or maybe 2 slices. Don't have a whole basket and have them bring another. bread that you're getting there, it's going to be a GMO bread. So you're going to be getting Roundup. You're going to be getting GMO glutens, which are harder on your intestine, whether you're gluten intolerant, whether you've got celiacs or not. GMO glutens are hard on your gut. So limit your bread intake. Dip in a little olive oil, a little butter. That's totally okay. All right, then we'll go to the soups. So soups, if you're getting a soup, try to choose a red soup. Manhattan clam chowder instead of New England clam chowder. Any red soup is going to be tomato based. It's going to have much less fat. A typical bowl of, or not even a bowl, just a cup of New England clam chowder, you're looking 50, 60, 70 grams of fat. Same with a bisque. They are loaded with fat. Primarily it's cream and butter. And while yes, cream and butter tastes delicious, it's not really the best if you're trying to stay healthy. So try to stick with a red soup. Even if you go with some kind of minestrone, some kind of broth, like a brothy soup, that's okay. But try to avoid the real creamy, rich soups, bisques, things like that. So now we go to the appetizer portion. Appetizers, especially here in Florida, are pretty easy because you can always get shrimp cocktail, you can always get raw oysters, you can always get peel and eat shrimp, you can get things like that. Right now, ahi tuna is a big thing, and yes, you are getting a little mercury with the ahi tuna, but you're not getting much fat, you're not getting a lot of carbohydrates, so any of those options are really good. Typically, seafood, good option for appetizer when it's, so long as it's not fried. If it's prepared, steamed, boiled, or just seared like that, those are great options. Also, like a beef carpaccio, that's a good option. Basically, anything that doesn't have a sauce all over it and isn't deep fried. So those are kind of some of the good appetizer options. Entrees. With entrees, it can be very easy. Now, if you're going to an Italian restaurant, most of what you're looking at is pasta. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. But if you can get a good piece of meat, doesn't matter, fatty, lean, at this point, it's really not a big deal. Ribeye or filet. Either way, nice piece of meat, a nice piece of grilled fish, pork, whether it be, like a grilled pork chop, pork tenderloin, something like that. Start with a real good base. So long as you're starting with that good base, then it's a little easier. So you've got a nice piece of grilled meat, and then try to avoid getting any kind of rich sauces on top. If you're at a good restaurant, and hopefully you are, the meat should stand out. It should really stand out on its own. Why hide it with a sauce? Stick to a real good, well-seasoned piece of meat and try to, just avoid the cheese sauce. Avoid those creamy things. For sides, roasted vegetables, roasted potatoes, anything like that, some kind of steamed or roasted vegetable is going to be a really good option. If you're going to get something kind of starchy like pasta or something like that, try to get the smaller side of that. Just eat a little bit of it. You don't need that much. It's more, as a side dish, you want that just to kind of cleanse the palate, just to kind of be a little something extra. You really don't need that, huge plate of pasta. Let the meat stand out. Let that shine. If you're going with a vegetarian or vegan option, then, anything, again, that doesn't have a sauce all over. I want to stick with lentils and beans and things like that. So long as it's not full of sauce, you're probably in good shape. Or deep fried. And I keep forgetting about that. Kind of deep fried is really something you want to avoid. It's going to be fried in soybean oil or some other vegetable oil. It's going to be heated to a temperature that's going to actually change the molecular structure and turn it into a trans fat. That thing that we're trying to avoid so much and you hear about in the news and you read in magazines. When you heat oils to certain temperatures, they turn into trans fats, and that's what's going on in those kitchens. So you really don't want to get any kind of fried food whatsoever. It's not going to serve you well. So lean meat, grilled, roasted vegetables. If you're getting something starchy, pasta, beans, try to get it smaller side of it. And that's kind of the dinner options. Now we'll go to dessert. Dessert is a little tough because for the most part, most desserts are very fatty. They've got a lot of sugar. So the best option that I've found is either a small amount of ice cream with a lot of fresh berries or a sorbet. Now sorbets are good because typically they're mostly fruit. Sometimes they've got sugar added to them, but they're almost strictly fruit. So that's a great option. The ice cream and berries, you're getting a little bit of that really thick, rich flavor from the ice cream. You don't need much. You actually want to have more berries than you do ice cream. You really will enjoy things better if you stick to those fresher options. When you walk away from dinner after eating out and you've eaten real fresh, good food that's been prepared well, it's just as satisfying as if you're to eat a bowl of pasta and fried shrimp, except when you leave, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to feel like you did something good for your body and you were able to indulge. And that's kind of the key. You want to really feel like you indulged, and you did, but you want to be still on that healthy high. You want to be feeling healthy, feeling good about what you've done, and knowing that you did the right thing. So hopefully that helps the next time you're out to eat. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below or shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. If you have any ideas for any future posts, let me know and I will get on that as soon as I can. As always, have an awesome day.